Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday, June 22nd. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. The purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I do that, or I try to do that at least, by being as honest, vulnerable, and accountable as I can be, which is why I make these videos. It makes me put some work in. I'm no expert in AA or spirituality or recovery. I'm just trying to live life on life's terms and do it sober. So the recipe we follow here is we read the daily reading out of the AA Daily Reflections book. There is a link in the description if you'd like to follow along. That'll just share my take on the reading as well as usually some other topic. All right? So for today, the topic's going to be Today I'm Free and be an authentic person. Okay? All right, June 22nd. Today I'm free. This brought me to a good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations left in the world over which I had no personal power, that I was so ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make that same admission with respect to much else. I would have to be still and know that he, not I, was God, as Bill sees at page 114. I am learning to practice acceptance in all circumstances of my life, so that I may enjoy peace of mind. At one time, life was a constant battle because I felt I had to go through each day fighting myself and everyone else. Eventually, this became a losing battle. I ended up getting drunk and crying over my misery. When I began to let go and let God take over my life, I began to have peace of mind. Today, I am free. I do not have to fight anybody or anything anymore. Yeah, I like that reading. That's a really good reading. Some of the things I kind of took from that was we talked about the good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations that I had no power over. That just made me think of in the Serenity Prayer where it talks about the wisdom to know the difference. Because I thought and tried to control everything. I would tell you that I should be able to control those things. But to me, the wisdom to know that difference is okay. I can't do it, right? And obviously, we need to do that. And then the kind of part where it talks about a good, healthy realization. There was a lot of times when I kind of knew I didn't have power over it, and it wasn't a good, healthy realization. I was frustrated by it, right? Part talks about ready to admit. If we're willing to admit this about alcohol, why not with other things, right? And it's at some point here, if we're not self-reliant anymore, then God will take those things as well. Willingness to give these to God is a big key for me. Okay. And then the part where it talks about learning to practice acceptance in all my circumstances. And the key word there for me is learning. It's going to, just like all these other conditioned things that I've learned over the years, the more I practice this, the more it'll become more reactionary. And it'll become, more conscious and not something I have to, or subconscious really. And we talked about one time I was battling everything. It just made me wonder, do I still feel this way? I still think I do feel this way. There's a lot of things that I still kind of fight on a daily basis. My addiction, things at work, money, those kind of relationships. Just being aware of that will lead me to pray for the willingness to quit fighting those things. And that's enough for me today. It really is. And then at the end it talks about, today I'm free. Free from what? The power of alcohol. Free from some of my character defects. Mostly what people think of me. Maybe not as much as I thought, but yeah, in some case. Feeling of uselessness and self-pity. Myself and self-seeking. And free from some of my traumas and past, issues and some resentments. So being free is a pretty cool deal. And I don't have to fight that shit. And that's awesome. It really is. All right, so I wanted to talk about what does authentic mean, or authenticity, being an authentic person. So being authentic to me means not being false or being real, true to one's own personality or character. Who am I really, right? And I think that's really guided by, if you're authentic, I think you're guided by more internal influences than by external influences. So what does living authentically look like, at least to me? I think we're honest with ourselves and with others. We take responsibility for our mistakes. Our values and our actions align. That cognitive dissonance isn't as impactful because we're fairly aligned. We don't seek external validation. We will tell people the truth even if it may hurt. Right? Willing to learn from our mistakes. Able to laugh at ourselves. That was one thing I did not used to be able to do a long time ago. We're not people pleasers. We love ourselves. We don't hide who we are. So those are some characteristics of being authentic, and I want to be more authentic. I want to be more real with outside world is what's going on inside of me. So, so being the opposite of that, authentic, is fake, being insecure, being a people pleaser, and really guided more by external things. And really, it's sometimes a moving target. In this group, I'm this person. In this group, I'm this person, and that's not authentic, right? That's just kind of going with the flow or wherever the wind blows, right? So why don't we live authentic? I think there's a lack of self-esteem, fear of judgment by others. We want other people to like us. Maybe we really don't know who we are, and we're trying to figure that out. And I think a lot of times past experiences that lead to being shut down when we spoke our truth, they can teach us that it's not safe to be genuine. And that definitely happened to me. When I tried to show who I was, I got shut down. But now I'm more willing to just push through that because I don't care what those people think anymore. Now, if we don't kind of work through this and find our own truth and act out that way, we can lead to depression, continue piling on our self-worth, can really affect our intimacy in relationships. People won't be able to get to know who we are, and that'll suffer. Relationships will suffer there as well. We question what we say to others. Oh, what do I say here? Instead of just saying what we feel, right? We'll distrust people. We'll lie, and ultimately we won't think for ourselves. And that's a tough place to be. It really is a tough place to be. So where are some areas that I'm really not authentic? I'm still not totally authentic in relationships, but I'm getting much closer. Sometimes I'm not always real about how I'm struggling or what's really going on with me. I'm not really sure why I'm still holding back in certain areas. Maybe that's some research I need to do, because I am holding back. I'm not being real because maybe I still do care what people think about me. At work, that's probably really the case. So there's some reality for me right here. So how can I live a more authentic life? I really like this first one. We're embracing silence and taking time to be with our thoughts. We're always constantly moving and we really don't know what we're thinking, and then we're still kind of going off some old ideas and old thoughts. But if I slow down and just allow those thoughts to kind of run through, I can kind of get a better gauge on what's really going on with me, and then my spirit is more able to speak to me as well. Being self-aware, observe ourselves during and after interactions. Obviously counseling, talking to somebody else. The whole awareness of realizing, I just was inauthentic here. I was just faking the situation. Shit, okay. Probably should talk to someone about it, someone non-judgmental, and then essentially that has a better chance of not repeating. Being intentional, where we invest our time, and really get to know other people. I think if we get to know other people more, we see that they're not as perfect as we think they are, and they're not all that better than us, and then it makes it easier, us more willing to be ourselves. And you really need to be more vulnerable and lean into whatever. If I'm going to be judged, fine, judge me. But this is who I am. I need to be okay with that. So that vulnerability is a big step for me. So anyway, I hope you got something out of today's reading. I just want to encourage you to, if there's certain parts of your life that you're fighting, unwilling to let certain things go and trying to control things that are really none of your business. And if you see those things, are you willing to let those go, or are you willing to pray for the willingness to let those go? If that's the case, I hope you are. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for another video. So until then, peace out.